Welcome to Yes Bitch TV, honey. Yes, God. Thank you guys so much for joining me. If you haven't done so already, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Also, hitting that notification bell will update you each and every time I'm uploading something new. So before I begin my commentary, I do just want to say I had no choice but to get rid of that live that I did earlier about Andrew Gilliam. I decided to go ahead and just re-record it and pre-record it. The live I thought went well in the process, but when I went back to watch the replay, it was extremely distorted. You could barely understand what I was saying or, how I was connecting these particular thoughts together. And it was throughout the entire video. There were moments of clarity, but it's just by the time you get there, it was just like, what the fuck was he talking about? So if I felt that way, I can only imagine what the viewers would think as well. So I'm redoing it. I decided to pre-record it and only just talk about the situation with Andrew Gilliam because that was an hour and 12-minute live. Obviously engaging with the chat, and I do appreciate everybody who came in that chat. Please support this video as well. Hopefully it's as funny because I was really on one and I was totally living for, the comedy that I was serving and the thoughts that I was serving in that video. So that's why I said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and do it again. And hopefully the formula works the same. Hello, God. So thank you for joining me yet again on the same topic. And hopefully this time, all the girls across the land will be able to see me without the distortions, okay? And you will get your life through this video. Another thing I want to bring up too is I've noticed my subscribership going up, engagement is going up. I do appreciate it, guys. All the new subbies that are coming through, joining the roundtable, honey. Yes, God, I do appreciate it. Please, in this time where most people are isolated and practicing social distancing, again, I do ask that you all take the time to support these content creators out here. I have noticed an uptake in video uploads from a lot of people, more specifically my people, amen. So if you ain't watching me, hopefully you're watching Really BTV, hopefully you're watching Epic Reviews, hopefully you're watching El Teddy 27 Official, giving you the real tea, Scotty, aka Mr. Still Standing, The Cat's Meow, Hermit TV, the list can go on and on and on. So if you have nothing else to do, please make it your business to support, watch, like, and subscribe to, these content creators out here, because they're, at the end of the day, we all need something to, turning crisis into comedy. Okay, that's just what we have to do in this time right now, because if you take it too seriously, you're gonna blow a fucking head gasket, bitch. And you're gonna do and say things you're not gonna be able to take back later. So please come get your life on these content creators channels. Take your mind off of the stresses of the world. Sit back, relax, and fucking laugh, bitch. Okay? Yeah. All right, so let's get into the commentary. We are talking about Andrew Gilliam. Yes, God, honey. For those of you that don't know who Andrew Gilliam is Florida's heart. He rose to prominence when he then at the time mayor was running for governor of the state of Florida against now who holds the throne, which is Ron DeSantis, who is a Republican. So we already knew that was going to happen, child, because he was endorsed by Trump, and we know that Trump, through his fraudulence and his the quid pro quos that always dwell within the lands of politics and politicians. Again, you will never receive something without something in return, and vice versa. Chat's all fucked up. That's how they do things. They're not really friends. They just owe each other. Hello, God. So we already knew that Andrew Gilliam probably was not going to win that election, and he did not. It was said through the streets that he did take that loss, pretty hard. But child, those were just hearsay situations. Anyway, I don't know much about Andrew Gilliam. Like I said, the only reason I know of his name is because of his run for governor. And that's when, other people started taking notice to him as well. So he was, again, he's a small mayor from Miami, you know what I'm saying? A lot of other people further down south than me know of this man. They know of his history. He's also went to college here as well. I do want to say something before I really truly begin, and this goes out to Funky Dineva, also known as Quentin Latham. I guess it's Quentin Latham now because, that's not really Funky Dineva no more. We haven't seen Funky Dineva in her caricature in a long time. But anyway, Funky Dineva claimed to have went to school with Andrew Gilliam, and there were whisperings about that he was one of the girls. And what I have to say to that is this: even at this moment that we're standing in, where it appears as if Andrew Gillum has been exposed, um, why are we speaking on things that we don't know firsthand? Doesn't that kind of go to exposure? You're exposing this person. Again, in light of what's going on, some might say it's not exposing because Andrew Gillum did that himself in this situation. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But I just wanted to speak on, Quentin Latham's assessment. And, you said you know of him. You weren't really friends with him. You knew people that were friends with him. I feel like even if y'all were close buddies and you did know him like that, we should not be speaking on people in that matter. I understand the community's talking about it, but if you know this person or claim to have known this person or you have some kind of personal background with them, let's not talk about the things that we heard. If we're going to talk about it, let's talk about it in the context of the things that we know for sure. You feel what I'm saying? Because it can come off really messy and like you're just telling tea. It's just too much. Anyway, but people are allowed to do what the fuck they want to do on their channels. It is what it is. I just wanted to say that really quickly. So if you've been under a rock the past week, you wouldn't know that Andrew Gillum was caught in a compromising situation. Apparently, police and paramedics had to be called to Andrew Gillum's hotel room. Well, apparently the hotel room was not in his name. It was in another guy's name, Alado Majias or whatever the fuck his name is, honey. Andrew Gillum was apparently in a hotel room with two gay men, particularly this man named Travis Dyson, who was a 30-year-old grad student who is trying to get his nursing degree, honey. But he also moonlights as a damn escort and apparently, allegedly, a porn star as well, child. A model. He has all kinds of different monikers and different aliases that he goes by in these different professions. But basically, Papa's a hustler. That's just what we're going to put it as. He's a hustler. He's actually trying to get these coins to pay through school. That's what we're going to... Nurse Jackie calling Nurse Jackie, bitch. Okay? The girls are out here working a double life in order to pay for these high-ass school loans. That's what I'm going to chalk it up to. Okay? And Andrew Gillum claims to have been going to a wedding that day. And he ended up getting drunk with some friends. And it just got out of control. But, girl, they're saying that crystal meth and things... Hello... were seen on site. So now you got to question, girl, not only could he be gay, could he also be a drug addict? And I'm going to go ahead and give my opinion on that real quick. Everyone is talking about, he's trying to talk about the drugs, trying to shy away from the fact that you were caught in a compromising position with two men. I guess he feels if he just spoke on the drugs and didn't pay any mind to the gay shit, that people would just assume he was in there with friends. But girl, based on the profession of Mr. Travis Dyson, honey, he also has a profile on mailrent.com or some shit like that where you can rent these boys, the escort service, honey. Why would you be hanging out with someone who you wouldn't normally have been seen with in the daytime? These are your friends, right? Girl, bye. I don't know Andrew Gillum or his set of friends, but you're hanging out with someone who's an escort, who is proud to tell you what he does for a living. Then you have this 53-year-old man who allegedly the room's name was under, who was the one who came in and saw y'all like that. Apparently Andrew Gillum was fucked up. That whatever drugs they were on or whatever they were drinking on did not sit right in their stomachs, honey. More than likely, they were sold some badass shit. Florida, especially South Florida, is well known for that. How things are going on with Miss Rona nowadays, girl. Ingredients are hard to get. The good shit is hard to get, more than likely. So the girls are putting Raid and paint droppings and rat shit probably all up in the bowl, mixing it together, girl, and selling it to the kids. I've had plenty of friends in my past, unfortunately, lose their lives because not just the overdose, but the fact that they were actually snorting and doing and injecting themselves with actual poisons because those drugs were not real. They were all, fake. Anyway, so that's probably what it was. They had a really bad reaction. And Aldo, whatever his name is, ended up calling the police and the paramedics. But I have a question. And I'm glad I had to re-record this because I didn't know this until afterwards. The pictures of Andrew Gillum that were just released earlier today have him laying on the floor, butt-ass naked. Ping is out, honey. Andrew Gillum is packing. He was packing. If his dick was that big and he was knocked the fuck out for life, imagine what that dick looks like, girl, when he is ready to go. Okay, Andrew Gillum is packing. Yes, God, honey. So first of all, shout out to Andrew Gillum for packing. Okay. Anyway, and he was covered in his own filth, his vomit, and everything else. So my thing is this: I know the police and paramedics didn't take those pictures. Who took the pictures? Travis Dyson was too busy throwing his lungs up in the goddamn toilet, right? That's what was said, right? So after all this is said and done, someone took pictures. And the only person left that was seen to be in that room was that 53-year-old Aldo Mahias, or whatever his last name is, girl. And someone in the chat, when I did the live on this, said that this was a setup. And now that I'm seeing these after photos of the situation, I have no choice but to believe the same thing. Andrew Gillum, girl, you were set up. You were set up. These girls were going to try to blackmail you. But I think what happened is, well, maybe it did go to plan. If I put some bad shit in the drugs, maybe we have no choice but to call the police and the paramedics, because they're going to say I saved their life. But in reality, they'll be exposed. Or maybe shit did go awry and you didn't expect the drugs to be bad. And you just wanted to take compromising photos of him anyway in order to blackmail him on the down low later. Either way, I feel like a crime was committed here. And I believe that Andrew Gillum is the victim. But at the end of the day, we have no choice but to think about the obvious situations here. If you are living your life late in the midnight hours, playing around with white twinks who love to do drugs. And let's talk about the drugs just real quick. I don't think Andrew Gillum does drugs. I think that is truthful. I think Andrew Gillum paid for the drugs because these white twinks, they call it P&P, party and play. These white twinks love to snort up the crystal meth honey and do all of these, pop all these pills. They love that shit because it desensitizes them, which means they can be fucked for hours on hours on hours. And looking at Andrew Gillum's peen, I can tell that he probably can go for a couple of hours. And if you don't think that these sophisticated politicians aren't out here having their own versions of the Red Room of Pain from Christian Grey, you're crazy as fuck. There are a lot of these people that dress up in suits, that run countries and cities and towns and all that shit, who have all kinds of fucking shit that goes on in their personal life that we'll probably never know about. But because of social media, the advancements in technology, and a lot of more thirsty ass people that'll scam the shit out of your ass and blackmail you, girl, it's hard to keep things in the dark nowadays. And it just kills me that we're mostly talking about this man being gay, getting caught with gay men. Okay, and it just furthers my argument on people trying to sensationalize, the whole gay thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, this man can't just be sexually fluid. Because to me, being gay is owning a lifestyle. It's living in your truth. It's a lot more than just a sexual act. So the fact that people equate sexuality to a lifestyle or just who a person is, period, that's kind of fucked up to me. So let's educate the girls. That's how I feel. Another reason I wanted to conduct this video was to dispel that fuckery that, because he's caught in a compromising position. Can we really say what happened? But the way that it looks, it's like, girl, you don't really need much of a deep perspective to know that, yes, girl, especially if those pictures are real and they're from the actual night, if those were just your so-called friends, why were you naked to begin with? Why were you naked to begin with? So when we see the evidence before us, Andrew Gillum, honey, we have no choice but to conclude in our motherfucking mind, bitch, that you was on some shit, girl. Okay? And, although I live for your wife, trying to have your back, and she's doing a lot right now, just by how steadfast and how strong she is holding you down in this moment and speaking her little bullshit that she's been speaking of lately, I feel that she's always known you had this to you. Whether you told her yourself, let me tell you something about women. Women, they know every fucking thing. They have a sense about them. They have a sense about them. Do they always use it when they need it? Hell nah. Bitch, True tea. No offense to the girls out there, but it's the truth. Y'all know y'all got good senses, but when it comes, y'all love too hard. And y'all let y'all emotions get the best of you to where you misjudge these guys completely. And then sooner or later, you're going to realize, and I think the only reason now it's all fucked up is because the embarrassment. Let's be honest here. This is what the wife wanted to avoid. Some women stay for security and money and because they didn't have a name before their man or whatever. 9 times out of 10, when you marry a politician, the wife that you have on your arm, contrary to popular belief, is not some supermodel who only has a GED. 9 times out of 10, it's with someone who is like-minded. So I don't know his wife. I don't know Andrew Gillum's life or family like that, but something tells me she still is a successful woman in her own right. Okay, that's at least how I feel about it. It may be a whole different story, but someone educate me on who the wife is and what she does for a living and what her family life was like. Because these girls know how to play it. Look at the House of Cards. Look at Scandal. The wives always know what their husbands are getting into. They just let it go because either they don't learn to accept it and they too are doing their own thing on the side. Because some people have those fixed marriages. Well, all right, Andrew, I know you got your you like peeing and boy pussy on the weekends, honey. So we're going to still get married and still put on this facade. We're going to marry for the image and the family. We're going to get this money, power, and respect is the key to life, bitch. Okay, we're going to do everything these white men are out here doing. And let's jump on that in a minute too, hello God. And we're going to put it on there. But just don't get caught because I'll deny your motherfucking ass, bitch, and divorce you and take everything you have. So I guarantee you they had some kind of mutual understanding amongst each other in their relationship, because the wife has taken this on the chin again, which furthermore lets me know she been knew about the shit. Okay, but my thing is, Andrew, you know that you were in politics. I guarantee you, not just when you ran for mayor or whatever seat you were holding before you ran for governor, if they were going to background check and vet you going deep within your motherfucking past history and stuff like that for whatever little position you hold now, imagine what they did when you became governor. Eventually, if you're going to be in politics or be a face of some company or whatever the case may be, please, eventually the spotlight is going to be on all of your dirty deeds or what you're trying to conceal from the public. Eventually, it all will fall down, honey. So this is where living in your truth assists in combating the fuckery that we're seeing going on right now. Everyone and their mother is talking about Andrew Gillum. And at this point, Andrew, it's like, girl, are you going to come out? But then that would be me suggesting you're gay. Are you gay, Andrew? You can't shy away from the issue. Fuck the drugs at the end of it, because I personally believe that Andrew Gillum bought the drugs for them. I said it before, I'm going to say it again. I don't think he was wrapped up in it. Something may have happened. I don't know, but I don't think he was on drugs. I just think he was drunk as fuck. And he was paying to play, and I think he used that Aldo guy to set it up, and then in turn, the T was, we're going to set Andrew Gillum up. That's really how I believe. There's a lot of that goes on in that circle. But let's get into this real quick. So we want to drag Andrew Gillum through the mud, right? And again, I believe it's only due because this is linked to the gay factor, the possible gay factor. Again, we've sensationalized it. That's what I believe has taken the fire. Okay, that's what's increased this fire, bitch, that Andrew Gillum sees himself in. But when I talked about Jeffrey Epstein not too long ago, you're talking about a man who had an organization dedicated to fucking little girls. Jeffrey Epstein also had a black book of all of the high-ranking individuals who partook in this filth. And the day that book came to light, by that night, Jeffrey Epstein was dead. I talked about this in that video I made a while back when all of this started happening. And I thought it was funny that even now no one is referencing that black book. Apparently, there were names of high-powered senators, people in politics, more than likely people that you motherfuckers and myself have voted for at one point or another. So the fact remains that that's still not even a topic of discussion because they're doing everything in their power to suppress that from coming to the light of day. There were heavy allegations made against Supreme Court justice members, judges, senators, people who hold weight in the political atmosphere. And then all of a sudden, Jeffrey Epstein is found dead. And now there's this whole, criminal case against the guards who worked that day and blah, 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 blah. But everybody has a fall guy. Thank you for Scandal, bitch. Thank you for Scandal, bitch. If they taught us anything, is they know how to spin these stories. They know who to pass the blame to, honey. Because if you think these girls are going to out here do that, child, please. Let's jump on the Kennedys. They had Marilyn Monroe. They were putting that hoe in the circle. The bitch got pregnant allegedly, and I believe them boys killed that girl. Because apparently she knew a bunch of tea about their motherfucking ass. This isn't the first time. We absolved Bill Clinton from getting his dick sucked in the goddamn Oval Office. Skeeting on girls' dresses and everything. All we did was like, okay, that's what's up, Bill. You know what I'm saying? So why are we jumping on Andrew Gillum so bad? This man now has to go into hiding, girl. He has to go back into the closet, girl. He has to go back. Now he's talking about he's finna go to rehab. Girl, rehab for what? Is there rehab for wanting to pay for sluts on the weekends? And what wedding? Can someone confirm, was he on the guest list for a wedding? Can we clarify the wedding? Okay, but we're not talking about him right now. We got to drag these crackers out here too, because I don't think we went on that hard with other people. Again, Jeffrey Epstein had whole organizations with people. Robert Kraft was just caught up in some fucker that I talked about not too long ago down here in Florida in Jupiter, getting handies and then having sex with people who were part of prostitution rings and sex slavery. So, and all he had to do was quit his job. He's a billionaire. He don't give a fuck. Our history shows that politicians especially have one hell of a dark side. Someone said a long time ago that the reasons people in high stress positions, especially like leaders of the world and like people in politics, they have such a stressful job, they find the strangest ways to relieve them from that pressure. Some end up doing drugs. Some like beating on some of these girls. These motherfuckers be having some weird fetishes. And to believe it or not, the underground sex railroad, girl, there are plenty of people out here feeling those filthy, filthy, filthy desires. The stuff you see on TV, 9 times out of 10 ain't so far-fetched. Sometimes that nasty shit exists. So we're not going to absolve Andrew Gillum. The only reason I'm pissed off at him a little bit is because it's like, girl, you're still going to lie about this? You were caught, and then what's even more fucked up about it is that every second now people are coming forward with photos. Old classmates are coming around talking about some child. We thought he was one of the girls. They are dragging you, Andrew Gillum, so you might as well just come out and say, child, this is what I like to do. It is what it is. Let's keep it moving. But you continue to lie about it. I don't see the reason for that, Andrew. I don't see, because at this point, there's nothing to, you can't say these were just your homeboys. I know plenty of straight guys who will be like, nah, not me, nigga. Who the fuck? It's not right. But it's okay. I feel Andrew Gillum's gonna make it anyway. He'll be okay. This is gonna be over soon, and let us not have this story take us away from what's really going on in the world. Who our leader still currently is. How fucked up the health crisis is right now. Let's not allow these stories to absolve the bigger issues here at hand that are going on in this fucking country and around the world. Okay? That's what they want to happen. Andrew Gillum, I'm praying for you, honey. Oh, and we don't want you, girl. If you did come out the closet, we just want you to be true to yourself. But just like Bruce Jenner, don't come to the gates are secure. The security. Justice League unite, honey, because this bitch is not welcome into the life. We don't want no parts of you. We don't, because you denied the girls. And we don't need people who's going to sit back and deny the situation. We need someone who's just going to walk into the fire and say, this is who the fuck I am. I've been struggling with this. The community would love you better for that. But you too scared, girl. It's okay. It's okay, baby. Anyway, that's all I got, y'all. I really just wanted to just talk about the flip entails of this whole situation. I think it is wrong that we are condemning this man and dragging him for filth. It is a fucked up, compromising position. There is a lot of comedy that can be found within this, but at the end of the day, we need to take a look back on the history of politicians and to know why it's called the Boys Club for a reason. And these motherfuckers, all of them, not just him, he is not the first and he will not be the last, honey, to have been exposed for his extracurricular activities. Okay, and trust me, you think that's bad? There's some worse shit out there. Some of these crackers have some really fucked up fantasies and fetishes. So, Andrew Gilliam, I'm still going to support you. I'm sorry this happened to you, but sometimes you have to be really observant of what's going on. All of this seemed extremely fishy and kind of fucked up, if you ask me. I think you were set up. Y'all be blessed, never stressed. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Again, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Yes Bitch TV, honey. Follow me on Instagram at Yes Bitch TV. And yeah, girl, y'all take care. Bye.